Hey everybody, it's me, Roger Aladdin Daltrey, and I'm doing yous a continuation video now of my 1 year anniversary graduation. Because as you already know, I'm going to be doing the students now of each class. So let me figure while I do this, because to me it is just crazy to believe that it's been a year now since that original year group. That year group has been together. It was a really good experience of some really good people. So it's a no-brainer that I'm going to actually do the classes from not in alphabetical order. So I'm going to go basically backwards to beginning. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the program again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up again, and we'll start with this one. Let's do it. This is the Sean O'Riordan class. So the Riordain class was a really fun class. It had some fun people there, and Riordain, and it was named after the famous poet called Sean O'Riordan. He could be related to Dolores O'Riordan from the Cranberries. Dolores, who died earlier on this year. I actually couldn't do a tribute video for Dolores because I don't own any of the Cranberries albums in my album collection. I'd like to start getting into some of those bands. I'd like to start, as I said before, I'd like to start getting into Mark Knopfler solo, since I love his music in Dire Straits, and I love Mark Knopfler as well. He's a very talented guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out the people who were in the O'Riordan class, and then I'll tell you which musician had voiced them, because I imagined that my Dunbank Community College school was a movie franchise, where they all, and the film basically had its original movie when I was in first year, and then it was followed by 4 sequels, but sadly the 5th one was the last. There was supposed to be a 6th one, but because of me skipping 4th year due to the age I was, the 5th film had to be the last. Anyways, so these are the people. So the first student in the O'Riordan class in alphabetical order from surname was Greg Bauer, and he lives in the same area as me in Donerbate, in the same estate. And he was voiced by Slash from Guns N' Roses. The next student was Rebecca Caffrey, and she was voiced by Jade Tyrrell from Little Mix. Then the next one was Lynette Carolyn, who was voiced by Kimberly Wyatt from the Pussycat Dolls, and who was also Mulan from the 1998 movie Mulan from Disney. As I mentioned yesterday, when I did the 1 year anniversary of the graduation video, because as I said, this is a continuation because I didn't want to have the classes all blended in together because we'd be here all day. Anyways, the next one up was Louise Evans, who was voiced by Perry Edwards in Little Mix, and she actually could be one of the choices for Jasmine, who knows. Then we have Shannon Furn, who was voiced by Björk, who was the 60th greatest singer ranked on Rolling Stone's 100 greatest singers of all time. Then we have Alex Foster, but it says Alexander Foster, and he was voiced by Glenn Frey from the Eagles. Then we have Sean Gallagher, who was voiced by John Densmore of The Doors. And just to remind you that I was one of those people who went straight to 5th year, and there's some other people in that class who went as well, and Alex and Sean were examples of those people who went straight to 5th year, and so did Shannon. Then there was Chris Gonzalez, who was voiced by Frank Beard of ZZ Top. That's why the 2 videos had been dedicated to him, the unboxing video and then the discography review. Then we have Joseph Halpin, who was voiced by Bernard Sumner from Joy Division and New Order, and he also went straight to 5th year as well. Then we have Charlie Harris, who was voiced by Greg Hawkes from The Cars. Then we have Adam Hempton, who was voiced by Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, and that's why the same 2 videos were dedicated to him as well as Chris Gonzalez. Then we have Natalie Hughes, who was voiced by Dolly Parton, who did a lot of collaboration with Kenny Rogers, and also is known for the big hit single Jolene. And Jolene is also a song title by Bob Dylan from the incredible 2009 record Together Through Life, featuring Mike Campbell from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers on guitar. That's why, to me, Mike Campbell is the most talented musician of all time, but not as talented as Aladdin, because again, Aladdin is the man, and the best cartoon character and best musician of all time. Then we have Clodagh Martin, who was voiced by Natasha Bedingfield. Then we have Fionn McGillicuddy, who was voiced by Alex Turner from the Arctic Monkeys. And then we've got David McMenemy, who was voiced by Jim Morrison from The Doors. And he was another person who went straight to fifth year. And he was actually a very close friend of mine. And he was the only person who saw me doing the cartoons tours live, right from the start of junior infants all the way up to sixth year. So I'm kind of thinking that if he was in that group, he could have been my musical director. Like, for example, Tony Garnier is the musical director for Bob Dylan in his Never Ending Tour band, since he was his longest serving member. Anyways, then we have Sky Malloy, who was voiced by Kylie Minogue, and she was also a good friend with the girl group as well, so for that matter, she is Elsa from Frozen. Then we've got Lucy Nolan, who was voiced by Celine Dion, and that's what Father Noah Furlong said to Ted in the episode Hell, which is one of my favourite Father Ted episodes, going, sit down there and have a little song. What will we sing? Will you sing one, Ted? No, I won't sit down. You will. You have a lovely voice. But like Celine Dion. Will you dance then? Actually, no, I'm quite tired. Anyways, I thought it was pretty cool. Maybe because Celine Dion is one of those most famous singers of all time. And then, of course, Lucy Nolan had Belle from Beauty and the Beast, since Celine Dion did a cover of the Beauty and the Beast theme song. Then we've got Katie Robinson, who was voiced by Emmylou Harris, who was actually a guest artist on the Bob Dylan song Golden Loom, which was recorded during the Desire sessions. And I have to admit, Golden Loom is one of my favourite Bob Dylan outtakes. And then we've got Jack Roach, who was voiced by Tony Kaye from Yes, who played on their first 3 albums, self-titled Yes, Time and the Word, and the Yes album. And then, of course, 90125 and Big Generator. And then the last student in the Riordain class was Alex Ryan, voiced by Whitney Houston, and then, of course, Cinderella. And Cinderella is also a band as well, a glam metal band from the 80s. And she's also mentioned in Bob Dylan's Sensation Row with the line, Cinderella, she seems so easy, she takes one's note and she smiles and puts her hands in her back pocket, Betty Davis styles. And then in comes Romeo, he's moaning, you belong to me, I believe. Then someone says, you're in the wrong place, my friend, you better leave. And the only sound that's left after the ambulances go, and then is Cinderella sweeping up on Desolation Row. And then on the front cover of the Electric Light Orchestra album El Dorado, although it was a shot from Wizard of Oz, it actually had a similar thing where Cinderella had put the glass slippers on. And then there's also Cinderella Man, which is a song titled by Rush from the album A Farewell to Kings as well. So anyway, there you go. That's the Riordain class, and to me it's just honestly crazy to believe that I haven't been in touch, that I haven't seen most of these guys for about a year, especially for the ones that have gone to DCU. So anyway, what is the next class I'm going to do? Is it Ní Gomel, Kavanagh, Heaney, Behan, or Boland? You're going to have to find out you'll find out tomorrow when I record the next video. Okay, thank you very much guys, and to the Riordain class. I hope, if you're watching this video, I'd just like to say, it was an absolute pleasure to have you guys for the last 2 years. And, well, just for the ones that did TY, I thought it was an absolute pleasure to have you guys there as well. And then, and let's not forget, there was also 2 other people as well in 5th year, which were Kai Cusson, who was voiced by Elliot Easton from The Cars, and then there was Katie Fleming, who was voiced by Jennifer Lopez, and then, of course, Anna from Frozen, since she's also friends with the girls as well. So anyway, thank you very much guys. I will see you in the next video. Will it be either... Try and leave a comment below and guess, who do you think I'll be doing next between Ní Gomel, Kavanagh, Heaney, Behan or Boland? Anyways, I'll see you next time guys. Bye bye.